Hey Toy fans, D21Beast here, back with another Star Wars Masters review for you guys here today, and we're taking a look at General Grievous from Star Wars Episode 3. Now if you ask me, Grievous is probably one of the most abysmal attempts to create an inorganically cool character for the audience to enjoy. Fortunately though, we didn't have to suffer through him too long as he came down with a pretty bad case of heartburn by the end of Revenge of the Sith. That said, this Master figure does come with a pretty interesting set of accessories and I definitely wanted to check them out. So let's get things started by taking a look at the packaging for this figure. As you come down the front of the box, you do have the Star Wars logo in the upper right and the figure's name off to the side. You've got a window box packaging that does house this Grievous figure inside as well as his accessories. On the left hand side you do have a mashed up Star Wars character, and finally the logo for this toy line, Hero Masters, there at the bottom. Flipping this package around, you do have that Hero Masters logo again at the top. You've got an image of a mashed up Grievous there in the center. Then on the right hand side you do have a lineup of some other figures currently available from this toy line. Alright Force fans, let's say we get this traitorous general out of the box and see what he's all about. And here we have General Grievous out of the packaging. And this figure is really kind of taking me by surprise here. I really enjoyed the way that he's been sculpted, much like we've seen with the other Star Wars Masters so far, with Darth Vader, Boba Fett, and the like. He's got a lot of great detail on this figure as far as the line work that they've done on him and the paint work. As we pull him in closer here, you can see excellent paint work here on the face. The eyes are very clean. There's some nice black lines going back here. I like the way that the whole mask for the character has been sculpted. There's sculpted detail here around the neck and around the shoulder. Just everywhere on this figure that needs to be sculpted, it looks absolutely incredible. And you know, you can definitely tell that Hasbro put the money out on the Star Wars figures. We're getting more attention to detail and movie likeness, really, or movie accuracy with these figures than we've seen from the comic book based Marvel Master figures that have come out already. So really, a great looking figure. I'm very, very impressed. But the fun doesn't stop there. Grievous actually has a great range of accessories here. As we pull them all in, what you're going to see here is he does come with 4 different lightsabers, 2 blue and 2 green, just like he did in the movie. All these lightsabers are molded in their respective translucent plastic, and then they just have silver paint for the lightsaber grips. No black paint applied to the handles. I don't remember if that's movie accurate or not, but that's the way that they've all been handled. Now, this lightsaber is a bit warped, and I think I've got a little bit of warpage in one of my other lightsabers, but really overall, they're great accessories. But then we get to this arm piece here. Now this actually attaches to Grievous's back, so he can do that forearm stance that he had in the movies, and we'll attach that in just a second. But a couple of notes about this item. The arms do not move independently of each other, which I was a little disappointed to find out. There's a wheel here that's designed to kind of rotate and move the arms back and forth. It's a bit difficult to use when it's actually on the figure, but it does also prevent you from being able to pose these arms independently of each other, which I'm kind of disappointed by. But the cool thing is that these are actually ball joints, which Master figures in 2015 have been losing the ball joints in the shoulders of the figure. As we take a look at Grievous here, you'll see that his arm rotates all the way around, but it does not bend in and out from the body like we've seen with previous Master figures that have come out so far. We have kept ball joints on the elbows and on the knees, but that's mostly to facilitate the masher function where you pull the pieces off and combine them with other figures in the line. So looking at this back piece, I actually really like that there's a greater range of motion on Grievous's extra arms than he has on his primary arms. And then we see here he has these ball jointed elbows. Now, disappointingly, and this is where I think that they've kind of missed the mark, you cannot disassemble the arms at the elbow joint here. So whatever figure you end up sticking these Grievous arms on, they're going to have to stay Grievous arms. I think it would have been really cool if I could attach this to the back of my Grievous figure and say put Wolverine claws on the back of him, but you just can't do that. So I definitely think that's a failing of the figure, and really kind of a disappointment. Now looking at the hands here, there's 2 closed grips on either side. As I got the figure out of the box, I put the lightsabers in because naturally I wanted to see what he looked like with his arms all out. But what I discovered is when I tried to pull the lightsabers out, they are actually permanently stuck in this figure, and I've pulled pretty hard, so the box doesn't warn you that that's going to happen. If you want to get Grievous so you can build up, a collection of lightsabers for all your Master figures, just keep in mind, the moment you put them in these hands, they are stuck, and they are not coming out no matter how hard you tug. So that was a bit of a surprise. It disappoints me a little bit just because I like having extra accessories for other Masters I've got, but if you're a fan of Grievous and you only want him to hold the lightsabers, then you're not going to mind it too much. But as you can see here, there are pegs in the back of this, and you can plug them right into the Grievous figure, and you've got his quad arm attack going strong. Now all you need to do is add the other lightsabers into his hand, and this figure looks really badass. I definitely think Grievous is a case of where they designed the toy first, and then figured out how to work him into the movies. Not the best way to create a character for your movies, and for that, I still think this figure is really not that great in the movie, but visually, he looks absolutely amazing. Now the other thing that he comes with is this blaster rifle. I don't know that anybody's going to want to pose this in Grievous's hands, especially when it looks so cool with 4 lightsabers, but you've got this accessory if you want to use it, and just like we saw with the Stormtrooper, that blast effect is stuck into the barrel of the gun. A big missed opportunity. It would have been great to be able to pull this off and have just sort of a neutral gun, and then be able to stick that blast anywhere on your figure in any of those ports, but as it stands, you've got this gun accessory that you can use if you want to, or maybe you can just give it to one of your Stormtrooper figures. For clarity, let's go ahead and touch on that articulation really quickly. The head doesn't really move up or down. The sculpt of the figure kind of prevents that. He does rotate left and right, though. He's got a full rotation here at the shoulder. Again, no hinge joint in the shoulder like we're used to with older Mashers. He's got a ball jointed elbow that'll rotate all the way around and bend back up that far and back that far. He does the same articulation here on the other side. No waist or ab articulation, standard with Mashers. Ball jointed hip that moves forward that far, moves back all the way. He can move out from the body pretty far. Ball jointed knee that'll rotate all the way around and bend down that far and up that far. And then, like we've seen with Mashers in 2015, no ankle articulation. Now, the one good thing about this Grievous figure is that his feet are actually a pretty wide stance, so you're not going to have trouble posing him dynamically because that foot is so big it's going to hold him in pretty much any position you want to stick him in. But I still think it would have been nice to have that ankle rocker on his feet. Alright, toy fans, so if you're new to Mashers and what they're all about, they are a toy line that's designed to allow you to remove your figure at the head joint, the elbow joint, the hip joint, and the knee joint, and mix them with other figures in the line. So let's go ahead and bring in a Jurassic World and a Star Wars Masher, and you can see after a quick edit here, there's some pretty interesting combinations you can make with this toy line. And of course, the more toys you have from this line, the more options you're going to have to mix and match and create your own custom Dino, Stormtrooper, or even Galactic Supervillain. Height-wise, we can see that the Grievous Masher does stand just a little bit under 6 inches tall, certainly one of the taller Star Wars Masher figures I've reviewed. For some size comparison, here we've got Masher's Grievous compared to the Masher's Starscream and the Masher's Wolverine figure, and we can still see that this Star Wars Masher figure stands shorter than previous Masher figure releases. Here he is standing next to the Masher's Darth Vader and Masher's Boba Fett figure from this same wave. And finally, here he is standing next to the 6-inch scale Marvel Legends Infinite Series Wolverine.
So what the heck are you, bub? Some sort of cyborg zombie? The name is Grievous. I am Kalish. It is a pleasure to meet you. Put her there. Huh? Oh dear. Could you please give me a hand? You know, I could lie to you, bub, but I really just don't want to touch that.
Alright, toy fans, well that's my review of the Star Wars Hero Masher General Grievous figure released by Hasbro in 2015. Overall, I'm still not a fan of Grievous from the Star Wars movies, but I do really love this figure. In fact, this figure's caught me quite by surprise. There's a lot of playability to this guy, and it's definitely clear to me that toys were in mind when this figure was created for Star Wars Episode 3. If you're a fan of the Star Wars franchise, you definitely want to pick this Masher up. If you're a fan of Mashers, this is probably a pretty cool one to add to your collection. There's just something undeniably badass about a man with 4 arms coming at you with 4 swords. Well, thanks for watching this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave me a comment. I love interacting with you guys. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.